Hi, everyone. We'll just get started in a couple of minutes. We'll wait for a couple more people to join, and then our instructor will start. Okay, hi everyone. This is Shivam. If you guys were in the last class of shelter-in-place coding, I was a teacher for the Java and Python classes. But yeah, I'm a sophomore at the University of Washington studying computer science. I'm just organizing these classes for our instructors. So today is our Java class. If you guys are here for another class, just so you guys know, Monday is Python, Tuesday is the AI ML classes, Wednesday is the Java classes, and Thursday is for the web design, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So yeah, today's the Java class. Our instructor is Santrip, so he can introduce himself now.
Hi, Shubham. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for the introduction. Hi, everybody. I'm Santrip Sharma. I'm in 11th grade, and I go to Basis Independent, Silicon Valley, and I'll be your Java instructor for the next 8 weeks. So I'm gonna start now. Let me share my screen real quick. Okay. You guys can see me, right? Hello?
Yeah, we can.
All right, cool. So I'm unable to share my screen because it says the host disabled. Screen sharing.
I just made you host. Should be good now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, so before I get started on the actual Java, so I want to go over a few things. So firstly, I want to like kind of bring up a few ways that you guys can run Java. So as you can see, I'm using a text editor. It's called Sublime Text. So you can download it. You can just search up online, download Sublime Text 3, and you can download that. And basically what I did is that I connected it to my command prompt. And yeah, if you're wondering how to do that, there are many tutorials online. Like all you have to do is search up how to connect Sublime Text to command prompts, and you'll find many tutorials. Or I could also send one at the end of the class. And for people who are new to Java or who don't have anything right now, you guys can actually use REPL.8. Let me show it to you real quick. REPL, yeah, right here. And then you guys can press.
We can't see it because you only shared your Sublime screen. You have to click on desktop 1.
Oh yeah, okay. My bad. Let me see. Screen share. Okay. All right. Can you guys see it now? Yeah. Now can you guys see it?
Yeah, we can see it now.
All right. Sweet. Okay. So as I was saying before, this is REPL.8. And over here, you press start coding, Java, and create REPL. And then it will create like a nice environment for you guys to run Java code. So you can type in your code here, and then it will output over here, and you can press run. So for like the first class, I would recommend it like for people who don't have anything right now. But like in general, I wouldn't really I would recommend Sublime Text over REPL.8 because it's a bit slow. Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much the only reason. But for now, you guys can use this one. There's no problem. or if you have any like other ways to run Java, then you can use that as well. There's no problem. But I'll be using Sublime Text. So let me go back. Okay. And all right, you guys can see Sublime Text, right? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna start with the actual Java now. All right, so the first thing you want to do for like a Java program is, oh yeah, and also one more thing before I start, feel free to ask me any questions like in the chat. I'll be looking at the chat, so if you have any questions, then don't hesitate to ask me any questions. But anyway, let me start now. So for a Java program, the first thing you want to do is define a class, right? So let me show you how to define one. All right, so public class, and then after class will be the name of the class. So one thing you guys want to keep in mind is that the class name has to be the same as your file name. So like in this case, you can see that I named it test, right? So it needs to be called public class test. And then you add curly braces. Okay, that's just proper syntax. And then after that, we're gonna define the main method. So what we do is public static void main string args. Then again, the curly braces. So this is the main method. Like in most languages, there's a main method, right? So in the main method, what we can do is we could basically just create variables, print statements, call other methods. So that's stuff we'll be doing both today and also in the future classes. Okay, I'm getting some stuff in the chat. Hold on. Okay. Okay, never mind. Those are not questions. Okay. So as I was saying, so we're gonna learn print statements first, okay? So in order to print something, we have to do system.out.println. Oops. ln. And then it can be anything inside the double quotes. It could be hello there. Then we need a semicolon for proper syntax. Without the semicolon, there's it's gonna output an error. So you want to make sure that you add a semicolon. So let's run this real quick. Save it. Then open up CMD, and then it prints out hello there over right there. So that's how you do print statements. And so basically you need double quotes whenever you print out any statement. If you get rid of double quotes, then it's gonna print out an error. Let me show you real quick. So there, see, it shows that there's an error because it doesn't recognize hello there. So the only time when you don't need double quotes is if you're like putting in a variable into the print statement. And in this case, we don't have a variable called hello there. So it's not going to find that. So we need double quotes, and only then it will work. See, and it compiles and runs right there. Okay, and you can have multiple print statements. So you could do system.out.println I like food, or anything, it doesn't matter. And same thing will happen, it'll print.
Yeah, we can't see your output on the command prompt.
Oh, you can't? Oh, okay. Give me a second. Is there a way to like show both or something?
It worked for me when I put them on like the same screen. Like, do you have multiple monitors or something right now?
Yeah, it's on the same screen. Can you guys see it now?
Yeah, now we can.
All right, cool. So as I was saying before, yeah, so it prints out hello there and I like food. So both the print statements that we were printing out. Yeah. Okay. So wait, can you guys see my Sublime text, like my code, or you guys only see the command prompt? And okay, so now I'm gonna explain the difference. There the two different ways to print out statements. So as you can see over here, I used a println. Wait, give me 1 second. All right, so over here I used println right here. So there are two different ways. So there's println and there is print. So let me explain the difference. So basically, ln stands for line, by the way, so it's print line. So what you do is that, so what it does is that it prints whatever's in the double quotes. So it prints out hello there, for example, and then it adds a line afterwards. But like for print, it doesn't add a line. It continues to to stay on the same line. So let me show you what I mean. So if I do system.out.println, then says we can say like, I don't know, I like cake. Actually, let's make this print. Yeah, there we go. Then we do add another statement, system.out.println this time. I like ice cream. All right, so let me show you what it prints out. All right, so over here you can see that it adds I like cake, the two print statements on the same exact line. Whereas if you make it a println, then it will print I like cake, and then on the next line it will print I like ice cream. But in this case, it's on the same line. So that's like the main difference between print and print line. Yeah. Okay, so let me move on. Okay, let me check the chat real quick. Oh, yeah. So somebody said I downloaded Sublime Text, but my code is showing up as white. Why is yours colorful? So that's probably because you didn't save it as a Java class yet. So if you save it and say, like for example, mine is test.java. So if you save it as something.java, then it should appear colorful, I believe. So try that out. Okay, and then I see another question. Can you show the window where you compile and run it? Okay, so that's a different question. Yeah, are you guys able to see like both of them? Like,
No.
Yeah, wait, I can hear you.
Oh no, we can only see our CMB.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. I don't know why. I have to like constantly switch the share, but yeah, should be fine for now. Yeah.
Can you like split the screen so then you can have code on top? CMB.
What's that?
Can you like split your screen up side by side?
I can't really hear you that well. Can you like speak a little louder? Sorry.
He's asking for a split screen.
Split screen? Okay. Okay, wait, can you guys like see both now? Just like test both of them?
Yeah, we can see both now.
Yeah,
Sweet,
it's fine
okay.
now.
All right, cool. Yeah, my bad, guys. Okay, anyway. So what are we doing now? Okay, yeah. So now, before I move on to the next topic, which is variables, do you guys have any questions about print or println? Or are you guys good? Okay, all right, I'll just move on then. All right, so let's talk about variables now. All right, so for variables, there are many different types for variables. There's int, let me type it out, int, and then there's double, and then there's string as well. There are many other ones such as long and short, but we're not really going to talk about that today. We're mainly going to focus on int, double, and string. So for a variable, you're going to have to initialize, declare a variable, and then initialize it. So what we do, so let's start off with int, for example. So we'll say int x is equal to, we'll say 5. And by the way, int stands for integer. So basically, it's any number from negative infinity to positive, or like it can be like a negative number or a positive number. And for integer, there is like a certain limit for how big the number is, but it's a really big number, so we don't really have to worry about that. So yeah, and so let's create another variable called int y is equal to, we'll say 9. Okay, I'm getting some messages in the chat real quick. Let me check. So do we have to do the first by like the public class thing, or can we start with the print thing? Okay, yeah, so you're gonna have to start with, you have to like create the class first, and then you and also the main method, which is this public static void main, and then you can write the print statements. Otherwise it won't work without the class or main method. What is the difference between print and println? Okay, so let me explain it again real quick. So println, so basically in println, it checks whatever's inside of the double quotations. Let's take this one for example. It's hello there, right? So basically the main difference is that for println, it adds another line once it prints out whatever's in the double quotes. Whereas for print, it only it doesn't move to the next line. It stays on the same line. So that's the main difference. So let me show you again real quick. So if I do that, Java test, see? So for the one that was println, you can see that they're printing on different lines. So hello there is printed on this line. Then I like food is printed on this line. But for the print, like without the ln, it prints on the same line. So yeah, I hope you understand now.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. All right, let me move on real quick. Okay. All right, so what was it? Okay, yeah, integer variables. So we assigned and declared these two variables. So we declared this variable called x as an integer or int, and we assigned it to the value of 5. And also for the variable name, it doesn't, like the name doesn't matter. Like I could name it something completely irrelevant, like food or something, right? It doesn't really matter. But like it should, most of the time it should be pretty reasonable, you know, just for like your own sake. But otherwise it doesn't really matter. So in our case, we made two variables x and y assigned to 5 and 9. So yeah, and now let's use the print statements that we just learned. Okay, somebody raised their hand. Okay.
I'm getting an error when I'm running my Java program. I sent the error in the chat.
Okay, let me check it out real quick. Main.java. Okay, so I think the problem is Java main.java. Oh, are you running from command prompt?
Yeah, I have Sublime Text.
Okay, yeah, I know what your problem is, but it's not really a straightforward like fix. So I guess for now, like use replicate, I would say, and then after class, so like I see a lot of people saying in the chat like, how do you run your code in Sublime Text? So I'll send out a tutorial after today's class, because it's not really like something that I can explain right now. It takes time. So for now, I guess just either listen at what I'm saying or use replicate. So just use that for now if that's okay with you guys. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, these two variables. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a print statement to print both of these variables out. So we use system.out.println, and then we'll say double quotes, this is x plus x. So what this does is that just like before, it looks at what's in the double quotes and it prints out this is x, and after that it adds a space as well because I added a space here. and then it adds yeah, and then it adds the value of x, and we assigned x as 5. So what it should print is this is the this is x. So that's what it should print. Let's see what it prints. Okay. There we go. See, at the very bottom it says this is x. Oh, and let me comment this out real quick just to make it look a little better. There. By the way, guys, this is in order to comment things out, use 2 double slashes in Java. Or I'm sorry, 2 slashes in Java. So yeah, and so basically it won't be part of what you execute. It will just be there. It's kind of like notes, kind of, you know. So if I run it again, then see at the bottom it just prints this is 5, and it just since I commented this out, it's not going to execute long. Yeah, so that's how you comment, just to tell you guys that. Yeah. And same thing, we can do the same exact thing for y. Right here, and then we can change this to y. This is y. Save. C. Test. Yeah. So right here, see it says this is x, which is 5, and this is y, which is 9. So that's how you declare and assign variables, an int variable, and print them out. And the same thing can be done for, so the same thing can be done for doubles. I'm not going to spend that much time on doubles because it's basically the same thing, except it's a double. So let me just show you though. So same thing for integer, it's int. For doubles, it's a double. And so what double means is it's any number that has a decimal. So again, I'll say double num1, I'll declare a variable is equal to 2.5. So that's a double. So again, any number with a decimal. And same thing, double num2, we'll create another one is equal to I don't know, it could be 4.89. Right? So again, using the same thing that we did before, I'll just copy these over just for time's sake. This is num1, which is num1, and then num2. So what this should print out is the same thing as this, except it says this is num1, and then it will print out 2.5, and the same thing for num2, but it will print out 4.89. So if we run it right here, so see, same thing. This is num1 2.5, this is num2 4.89. Right. So yeah. Okay. So that's it in double, pretty straightforward. So just for like a small recap, int is like a whole number, integer number, it can be negative or positive. Double, same thing, could also be negative and positive, but it has to like be a decimal. It's basically just any decimal number. And also one thing to keep in mind, if you assign a variable to an int and you add a decimal for it, so let's change int x to 5.6, for example. And based on what I just said, 5.6 would be a double, right? So it'll actually output an error. So let me show you. Yeah, see right here, it says yeah, incompatible types. Yeah, so it's basically saying like it's not an int, even though you assigned it to be an int. So keep that in mind. Okay, so let's change that back to 5. All right, so let's move on to strings now.
Wait, how do you run your code?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, so I'm gonna send out a tutorial at the end of class showing how to use Sublime and how to like how to mash it with command prompt. So, but for now, you can use Replit as I just showed you in the beginning of class, or you could just listen along and I guess like write down the code, and after class, you could I guess try it out on an IDE, open IDE. So yeah.
Won't it
Okay.
also be recorded?
Okay. So string. Okay. So let's move on to strings. So string let's create another variable called string str1, which is equal to hello. All right, so let me explain this. So it's the same thing, same way of assigning and declaring variables, except for string. It needs whatever you're assigning str like your variable to, it needs to be in double quotes, otherwise it won't work. It's pretty similar to like the print statement. For the print statement, you need double quotes. Same thing for string. You need double quotes in order for it to work. And also make sure that this S is capital. It doesn't work if it's not capital. It's a very common error to make. So just putting that out there. And yeah, let's create another string called str2 is equal to by. Yeah. All right. So using the same logic as this, let's print out hello and bye together. So let me show you. System.out.println using the same print statement. We print str1 plus str2. All right. So what this should print out is hello, bye. It should print out that basically. So what this is, this plus sign, whenever you use this plus sign, it's called concatenation, by the way. It's basically where you combine two strings together to form like the final string. So in this case, the first string is hello, right? And then the second string is bye. So using the plus sign, which represents concatenation, it will combine them to form hello, bye. So let me show you what I mean. Okay. So compile it, then run. There, see at the very bottom it says hello, bye. And if you want to add a space, it's pretty simple. Just add a space in the string. So there, just add a space. It should print out hello, bye with a string, with a space. So there we go. So that's how it works. All right, so let me use the same string, like the same variable names, but let me change the string real quick. So I'm gonna actually make it a number. So let's make it 8 or 9, sure, and then make it 2. So as I mentioned before, remember I said for an int you can't use a double because it'll give an error. However, if you put you can use a number for strings, but it needs to be in double quotes. If it's not, then it'll give an error. It's still a string, mainly because the double quotes assigns it to a string. So using the same system.out.println right here that we use right here, it won't print 11 because it's a string. If it was an integer, however, it would print 11 because 9 plus 2 is 11. However, in this case, what it should print, as I mentioned before, it combines the two strings rather than, yeah, it just combines them. So instead of 9 plus 2, which is 11, it will just print combine 9 and 2, which is 92 or 92. So that's what it would print out. So let's try it out. Okay. Right there. See at the very bottom, it says 92. So yeah, that's like the main difference between strings and integers. Strings combine, integers, it actually like adds. Yeah. All right, so I'll move on to the next topic. Let this be like a checkpoint. So if you guys have any questions, then type it in the chat right now. Or you could unmute yourself and you could just ask the question, I'll answer it. I'll wait for like a minute maybe. Floats. So in Java floats is double. So they're kind of the same thing, but it's a double. So yeah, that answers your question. Yeah. If you add a string to an integer, will it cast the integer to a string? What do you mean? Like if you add a string to an integer? Like what do you mean by that? Are you talking about like like this kind of? Hold on, let me go back. Are you talking about like this type of statement where you combine a string and an integer? That? Hello plus 2. No, it's not gonna do anything unless unless there's a variable called to, then it will print out whatever's after. But yeah, that shouldn't work. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Okay, any other questions? I'll wait for maybe another 30 seconds-ish. Okay, I'll just move on then. Again, if you guys have any questions, just type in the chat. All right. So now let's move on to variable mathematics. All right, so let's start with int. Actually, we can use the same variables. Yeah, we'll just use the same variables right here. Int x, int y is equal to 5 and 9. So we learned over here how to print them out using print statements. So what we're gonna do is int, we'll create another variable called int sum, which is equal to x plus y. So we are basically just using these two variables that we already declared up here, and we're implementing those two variables into sum, and we're adding them so that sum can also have a value. So in this case, sum would have the value of 14 because 5 plus 9 is 14. So if we print out system.out.println, this is the sum of the two variables. Then using the same thing, we do sum. Let's test that out. Right here. This is the sum of the two variables and 14. So yeah, so there's addition, and of course there's subtraction. You do the same thing. You can do int subtraction is equal to, we'll just do y minus x, or you can do x minus y, it doesn't matter. And then create another print statement, system.out.println. This is the difference of the two variables. And then subtraction. And it should print, what is it? Yeah, it should print like -4. So let's see what it prints out. See, what does it say? Subtraction. Oh, oops. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is like you have to be careful with these type of things. So over here I misspelled subtraction, so I missed the T. So yeah, it could be really easy to like just get errors like that, you know. So make sure like your variable names match. So yeah, it should work now. Yeah, right here. This is the difference. The two variables, -4. Yeah. And we'll also go over multiplication and division. Yeah, this is pretty straightforward, like simple mathematics. And also, you can also combine it. You could be like x plus y minus x times y. You know, you can create like a long expression. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys know how, like, what PEMDAS is. PEMDAS, right? Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So that's also how Java works, in case you were wondering. So it starts off with like whatever is higher, so like on for PEMDAS, and then it just goes down the line. Yeah. So let's create another variable for multiplication. Mult is equal to x times y. And then we'll do the same thing. Let me just copy this. This is the product of the two variables. Then mult. And if we run this, then it should print out whatever. It should print out 45. So right here, this is the product of the two variables, 45. So that's how you do it. And same thing for division. Int division, or division is equal to x divided by y. Okay, and same thing. Let's create a print statement again. This is the division of x, y. Then we do plus division. So let's see what this prints out. Clear this real quick. There we go. Alright, so right here. So this is what I wanted to show you. See, it says this is the division of x and y. It says 0, right? But you guys must be thinking like, well, 5 divided by 9 is not 0, right? It's 5 nines or whatever that decimal is. So this is integer division. So basically what it does is that Java for integers, it actually rounds down. So like, let's take another example. Let's make x, let's say let's see, let's make it 10. Yeah, let's just change the x, make it 10. So 10 divided by 9. So instead of whatever the actual decimal value it is, since it's an integer, which is not a decimal, it will actually print out 1. So if we do this, let's see what it does. Did I save it? Yeah, okay. Right here, see, this is the division of x and y, 1. So that's integer division. If you want the actual value of the two, then you have to change the variable type to a double. Only then will it work. And I also got a message in the chat. Let me see. Yeah, division should be double in order for it to work. Yeah, that's what I just said. Okay. Yes. Okay. So yeah, let me show that to you real quick. So let me do the same thing, but for a double. So double num1 is equal to 2.5, 4.89. Yeah, we can keep the same, or we can make this 12.5. How about that? Yeah. And then we'll just do division, because you guys already know how addition, subtraction, multiplication should work. But I just want to show you division. So double division div, we'll just make a div, is equal to num1 divided by num2. And then we do, again, using the print statement, system dot out dot println. This is the division plus div. Yeah, div. Okay. And let me comment these out just to make it a little bit more clear. In order to comment like multiple lines, by the way, you should it's control slash. Yeah, that's how I did that. All right, anyway, let's try this out. Okay, CLS, Java C. Right there. See, this is the division. So it prints out a big decimal number. So that's how you get the actual decimal value. So yeah. Okay. So that was all for this class. So that's all the content I wanted to go through for this class. And so let me address homework real quick. Okay, so if you go to this, hold on, give me 1 second. All right, so you guys can see my screen, correct? Right here, this doc.
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, thank you. Okay, so if you scroll down over here, it will say Java curriculum, and right here, it will contain a tiny URL, and that's where the document for all the homework will be. So if I click on it, there's a homework right here. It's pretty simple. It's just all the stuff that we learned today: concatenation and assigning and declaring variables. And yeah, it won't take more than maybe like 10 minutes if you understood like the content. Also, one thing to note, I'm not gonna check this homework, so don't be like worried about it. You could do it if you want. It's optional, or you don't have to do it. But I would recommend doing it because I just want you guys to like learn the content, understand. But yeah, if you guys are wondering if I was gonna like check and grade it, I'm not. So there you go. And if you have any questions about what I like what I taught today, or what you guys learned, or if you have any questions about homework, then please send me an email. I have my email at the bottom of the doc right here. Yeah, and there's some questions. Give me a sec. It's on the document. Where can we find the recording? So it will be posted on YouTube, this recording, and in this document that I showed you right here. Hold on, let me move this. In this document right here, it'll be in this document. So just look for it. It should say like Java class 1, session 1 or something like that. So it'll be in this document. Yeah. Okay, another message. All right. All right. Any other questions before we end the class? I'll wait for like 30 seconds ish. Oh, so for the recording, yeah, it will be posted on YouTube, but there will be a link inside of the Shelter-in-Place Coding and Entrepreneurship Google Doc. So that's where you can find the link. It's not there yet. It will be posted on the document after, sometime after class ends today. So yeah. I mentioned before, I'm gonna send you guys a tutorial like on this document right here, the shelter in place. Hold on, let me scroll. So under Java curriculum right here, I'll add a tutorial either today or tomorrow, probably today. And it will be a tutorial on how you can download Sublime Text and connect it to command prompt. So yeah. Okay. Where do we find the doc? Which doc are you talking about? Are you talking about the shelter in place coding, or are you talking about like the homework? Okay, you're talking about this doc, the main doc? Okay. Yeah, okay. Somebody sent it in chat, so there you go. Thank you, Aditi. Okay. All right. On that note, I think that's it for today. So next class, keep in mind, is on Wednesday, next Wednesday at 5 p.m. So yeah, make sure to come. And again, you don't really need to do the homework if you want to, but it's recommended. So at least try to do that homework. And yeah, you guys are free to leave now if you want. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for coming, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, goodbye.